In the dust-choked heart of the American West, where shadows stretch long and secrets run deep, lies a place called Silver Creek. Here, water is life, a promise whispered on the parched wind. It was this promise that drew Samuel Crossfield and his sons. They came with dreams of a home, a future carved from the unforgiving land. With sweat and determination, they raised the walls of their homestead, a beacon of hope against the vast, indifferent desert. Inside, the scent of a family dinner cooking was a small, fragile piece of civilization. But civilization is a thin veil in these parts. Riding out of the encroaching darkness came Victor Kane and his gang, men whose souls were as barren as the landscape. They came not for land or water, but for destruction. The night erupted in a storm of gunfire, a brutal dance of light and shadow. The Crossfield dream, built with such care, was extinguished in a flash of violence, their home turned into a tomb under the cold. Silent stars, miles away, a train hissed to a stop, delivering a ghost from the past. Eli Cross, a man wrapped in a long coat and an even longer silence, stepped onto the platform. He wasn't looking for a fight, but trouble had a way of finding him. 3 gunmen, eager to make a name for themselves, made the fatal mistake of underestimating the quiet man with the harmonica. The ensuing confrontation was a blur of motion, a testament to a life lived on the razor's edge. Eli didn't even break his stride. In the local saloon, another kind of predator was caged. Jack Crow Dalton, a notorious outlaw, sat chained and simmering, but chains are only as strong as the men who forge them. With a sudden, violent burst of energy, Dalton shattered his bonds, turning the saloon's boisterous atmosphere into a frozen tableau of fear and chaos. He was a force of nature, untamed and unpredictable, now loose upon the world once more. By the time Margaret Crossfield arrived at Silver Creek, the silence that greeted her was heavier than any storm. The discovery of her murdered family was a blow that shattered her world, her elegant composure crumbling into a portrait of pure, raw grief. The life she had known was gone, leaving only the ashes of a dream and a burning question. Why? Meanwhile, progress marched on. Relentless and indifferent, the railroad was coming, its iron tracks a promise of a new era. Eli Cross found himself overseeing the construction, his quiet authority a strange comfort to the workers toiling under the harsh sun. He seemed a part of this new world, yet his eyes held the weight of an old one, a past that clung to him like the dust on his coat. This railroad was more than just steel and timber. It was a lifeline, a connection to a world beyond the desolation. But the railroad was also a conduit for corruption. On a private train belonging to the powerful Edgar Blackwell, a web of betrayal was spun, a deal gone wrong, a flash of greed. And the polished interior of the luxury car became another battleground. Eli, caught in the crossfire, moved with lethal grace. This was his world, a world of sudden violence and shifting allegiances, where trust was a currency scarcer than gold. For Eli, every gunfight, every act of violence, was an echo of a single, searing memory. A flashback, sharp and brutal as a shard of glass, takes us to his childhood. He's just a boy, standing helpless beneath a tree, watching his brother's life end at the end of a rope. The shadow of the hanging man is a brand on his soul, the source of the cold calm in his eyes and the harmonica's mournful tune. It's the ghost that rides with him, the debt he can never repay. This long, bloody trail finally led to a dusty yard, and a final reckoning, Eli Cross versus Victor Kane. The air was thick with tension, the silence broken only by the wind whistling through the ramshackle buildings. It wasn't just a duel. It was a collision of 2 worlds. The standoff was a lifetime of pain and vengeance distilled into a single, breathtaking moment. Gunshots rang out, and in a ballet of slow-motion violence. Just saw something like it was finally served. As the dust settled, a new day dawned on Silver Creek. Margaret, her grief now tempered with resilience, gave water to the railroad workers, a simple act of life and renewal. The railroad was almost complete, a testament to survival. From a distance, Eli Cross watched her for a moment. Then, turning his horse, he rode towards the horizon, Jack Dalton now riding beside him, two lost souls heading into the sunset. Not towards an end, but perhaps a new beginning. The past was buried, but its shadows would forever ride with them.